Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a holster option for your P80, your Polymer 80. There aren't a whole lot of companies that make holsters for the P80. This is basically a gun that you buy the lower. You get an 80% lower and you finish it yourself. It's a Glock clone that you build. So there are a few holsters out there, but they're not as common, so your options are somewhat limited. They also tend to be a little bit more expensive because I can get like good carry holsters, like like the Polcrafts. I usually get them for about $25. When I found that when I went to try and find a holster for this P80, they tend to be $50 or more. Okay, so a good option that I have found for training purposes, right? And I'm gonna say training purposes now, and later in the video I'll get into some more details about why you might want to carry this or not carry this. But a good option that I have found is the Blackhawk Omnivore holster. Now this is a light bearing holster. Now here's the thing: if I take this gun and I put it into the holster, you're gonna see it basically it doesn't hold it, right? And the reason is because this holster indexes off the light. So this particular holster is designed to work with the Streamlight TLR1 light. Blackhawk Omnivore also makes a version that will work with the Surefire. I forget which version, Surefire, the most common one. But this holster indexes off the light. So when you go to put when you go to holster the gun, it holds the light in place. So what happens is you put the light on your pistol. Put your light in your pistol. You tighten it down a little bit. So it's very convenient that the P80s come with a nice Picatinny rail, right? So you put that on so it's nice and tight. So the way this works is when you holster, basically the holster holds the light in place, which holds the gun, and it's a retention holster. There's a button here that, because it won't come out unless you push this button. It is a thumb activated button, right? So when it's here, you push down and you come out. It comes out really smooth once you push on that button, but it won't come out unless you push on it. So I have found that this is a really good, I'm going to say cheap, but I mean it's a $50 holster. But here's the thing with this holster: it is very flexible. I had a Glock in this before. I've had my SIGs in this. They give you, there's a piece that goes over here. This piece over here is changeable, so depending on the size of the frame of the gun that you're using. I mean, this holster is designed to fit like 500 different guns. It'll fit 1911s. It'll fit smaller guns. Although with the smaller frame guns, even though it might fit it, I mean it's a pretty big holster. So I would say that this gun is pretty ideal for a Glock 17 size gun. Okay, and as you can see, obviously I got the light on here. I've got a red dot. I got suppressor height sights on this, and it fits the gun just perfectly. Okay, it's got a very large channel over here, so it will fit the suppressor height sights, and there's actually plenty of room. So even if you have even higher sights, you can see how there's plenty of room. So let me strap this on. We'll take a couple of shots. And it's a really nice holster. It's very smooth. Works really good. And this is what I consider a good practice holster. Okay, or this is a holster that you might use like if you're really not expecting to have a problem, but you're having, like let's say like you find yourself with riots in your neighborhood at night, and you never bought. You've always had your holsters, holsters that didn't take lights on them, and all of a sudden you realize that, hey, crap, I want to have a pistol that has a light on it. So you have one of these, and whatever pistol you happen to be using, as long as it's a common pistol, a SIG or a Beretta with a rail or a Glock, you can throw the light on it, and you could put it in this holster, and it will work because, like I said, the holster indexes off the light, not the gun itself. Okay, and then you can see if I don't push that button, it doesn't come out. But once you push on the button, it can come out pretty quickly. So this is a really good option, I think, for practice purposes. Now, as far as would you want to carry this, now in my state, it's legal for me to carry a P80, right? I can carry this Polymer 80 with a carry permit, or actually in my state, I don't need a permit for open carry. The reason why I would not want to carry this gun, right? The reason why I would want to carry a factory-made gun as opposed to a gun that I built myself is because if I ever did get into a self-defense type of situation, even though it's legal for me to carry this gun and use it for self-defense, if I end up in court, a prosecutor can bring that up, and then, you know, even though it's legal, my lawyer has to spend time dealing with that. Okay, so they got to do research on it. You know, most lawyers charge about $250, and if you know, actually, I recommend if you're in a situation like that, get the best lawyer that you can get. So if you can get yourself a $400 lawyer, $400 an hour lawyer, get that one. You know, that's not the time to penny pinch. So if the prosecutor decides to bring it up, at the minimum, your lawyer is going to spend at least 2, 3, 4 hours between researching this and arguing it. So this is going to add a couple of extra $1,000 to your legal defense. So for that reason, basically, why have the extra expense rather than carry a P80? I'll just carry a Glock, you know, or a SIG or something else that's a factory gun, and I don't have, you know, my lawyer doesn't have to deal with that extra layer of defense. Okay, let me get my ears on. Let's take a couple of shots with this. So, but this is a good holster for practice purposes, or it's a good holster like if you really did find yourself in a situation where you needed to use this holster on a limited basis, because there was some riots or something going on in your neighborhood. I mean, yes, obviously you can use it. This is not a holster I would go to combat with, simply because it hasn't been around that long, hasn't been tested enough. I mean, I don't know how strong this will be, if it gets kicked, or if I'm, if I slide, if I slide on my side or something, and it's like dragging on the ground. Okay, so I don't know how tough it would be under combat conditions, where you're going over something and falling, and you're landing on the holster. So that's why I say it's a good practice holster. It's a good holster for limited use in a self-defense type of situation. But I definitely would not go into combat with a holster like this. So that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, especially if your situation is that, hey, you're considering, do you want to, let's say, get a Glock MOS with a red dot on it? Well, right now it's really hard to even buy, because right now we're still in the middle of that coronavirus nonsense with the riots. So things are a little, it's kind of hard to get yourself an actual Glock. But you can build yourself a P80, and you can put a red dot on it, get some suppressor height sights on it, and you can practice. You can see, is this something I like? Is this something I want to invest more money on? So this holster is good for that, for that possibility. So let's try this out. We could add a little moving to it, a little side step. So as you can see, it works. It does the job. This is a good option for the P80. Fairly cheap option, very flexible option. So I think it's something that you guys may want to consider if you have a P80 or Polymer 80 and you're looking for a holster. The good thing is if you end up not liking it, you can use this holster for a lot of other guns because it's universal. You can use it with your Glocks, with your SIGs, with most other standard guns. So if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. See you guys next time.